Yes, ma'am.
Or with migration, you're ready to hit the street? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All
So
right.
we are compliant. Looking at the history of the communication system, we would support the migration approach from the fiscal standpoint for the county, but we are P25 compliant today.
Thank you. I apologize for catching you off guard,
That's
ma'am.
fine.
All right. Other questions for the chief while she's up here? All right. Commissioner Henley?
Not the chief, but for Ted. Ted, is it staff's recommendation that we pay cash for each of these fascias, or are you recommending financing?
Well, that's a number of options and another consideration for the board to make. In each one of them.
Well, it might have bearing on which way the board wants to go.
That's correct. Now, both companies that are the key players within the region, both have financing options. Both of them have opportunities for extending that financing. One even extends, it doesn't mandate that the county carry the liability, but allows any municipality and any user on the existing system to hop on and use our financing rate that we would be able to secure through the company. And I'm not sure, last I heard, the best financing rate through one of the manufacturers was at 1.9 to 2%. Another one was at around 3%. That would just, we need to see what the open market would bear also, and to see what the banking industry would bear.
Mr. Stone, if we did an forklift approach versus a migration, have you looked at how you would pay for that within your budget?
I would say payroll deduction from Tommy Oliveris, but I don't think it's going to get us very far. No, actually, we've had some discussions with Ms. Briggs, talking about what potential options are, what our bonding capacity is, those types of things. I'm sure that Ms. Briggs would be able to come back at the same time we bring back the recommendation for whatever it is on the next board meeting in July. And through some discussions, we would be able to at least narrow that down for board consideration at that time.
Commissioner Horan?
Yeah, and as I understand it, I've discussed this with Director Spriggs and also with our accountant. And as I understand it, whether we go migration, whether we go forklift, whether we're spending $6 million this year, $20 million this year, $20 million over the course of 6 or 7 years, we could finance this either by debt or through one of the companies for less than 2 points, as I understand it.
That's my understanding.
So that's open to us because of our good bond rating, and also open to us with either company involved, whether we do migration or forklift, that kind of financing is available. So the bottom line, and it's probably too premature right now to talk about financing, but and I do agree with Commissioner Henley, it does have a bearing on the approach, but I think that no matter which way we do it, we do have the financing capability to do it rather cheaply in this market.
Well, that's the reason I raised the question, Madam Chair, was the fact that with consideration of cash flow, that it may be to our advantage, regardless of which company we deal with, to get as low rate as we possibly can, because we don't know what the future is going to hold from the standpoint of the increase in property values and so forth immediately. And I would hate to have to fork out $6.5 million here for a portion of what we really need to go. And it may well be that we may want to look at financing and go whole hog, regardless of what system we go with.
And that's particularly prevalent if we're looking at the budget and we're looking at hitting the reserves.
Yeah.
I mean, we may make a cogent decision to go ahead and finance it rather than take $6 and/or $20 million out of the reserves. So but those are available to us.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vanderwide?
Well, we haven't even made a decision to move forward, but we're talking here, and I would like to have a staff recommendation from the county manager and, of course, Tad Stone, and we've already heard what the sheriff's department's thinking. But I think that,
And that's the question today is, do we want to do the migration or do you want to go out to an RFP? So that's the answer we need to have today. So Tad, can we have a recommendation from you? And then if we could have one from you, Mr. Hartman. Tad?
My recommendation would